Welcome to Study Loop.
This is the answer to Chapter 21, problem number 65 from the Smith Organic Chemistry textbook. This problem says devise a synthesis of each compound from 5-hydroxy-2-pentanone as the starting material. And we can also use alcohols having 3 or fewer carbons and any required organic or inorganic reagents. Okay, so starting from 5-hydroxy-2-pentanone, which I've drawn here, to get to the product that we have here, we need to add some carbons to this molecule. And basically, in order to do that, we're going to use a Grignard reagent strategy. But before we can do any of that, the very first thing that we need to do is protect our ketone so that our ketone doesn't react during all these other steps, and so that we can actually use a Grignard. Because remember, if we try to make a Grignard and we have a ketone present in the molecule that we're trying to make into a Grignard, it's not going to work. It's going to quench itself, react with itself. So we'll use a cyclic acetal protecting strategy. So ethylene glycol and some acid is going to take us from our ketone to the cyclic acetal. So this is now protected, and we can pursue the strategy that we need for the rest of the molecule. So the first thing is going to be to use PBr3 and convert this to the bromide. And now we can make the Grignard. And so actually, we're going to need to use some acetone as our carbonyl to react with the Grignard. And we can make acetone from isopropanol, because remember, 3 carbon or fewer alcohols. So we can just oxidize some isopropanol, and that is going to get us to acetone. Okay, so we have our Grignard reagent. And we will go ahead and react that with acetone, and then work it up with water, as we always do with Grignard reagents. And so that is going to get us to here. Okay, so we've added the carbons that we need, and now we need to deprotect our ketone. And so that is accomplished by acetal hydrolysis, so a little bit of acid and some water gets us back to the ketone. And so to get to our final product, we need to have an alcohol there. And so we can accomplish that with any reducing agent. So you can do sodium borohydride. I'm going to do lithium aluminum hydride. And that gets us to our final product for part A. Okay, so for part B, we're actually going to start from an intermediate that we made in part A. So we will start from the protected bromide. Okay, so we have the protected bromide here, and we are going to make this into a Wittig reagent. And so remember, in order to do that, we need triphenylphosphine and then butyl lithium to deprotonate. And so when we do that, we end up with this Wittig reagent, still protected here. And now we need a 3-carbon aldehyde. And so we will again make that by oxidizing the alcohol, just as we did in part A. So 1 propanol this time instead of 2 propanol. Oxidize with PCC. We get the aldehyde that we need. And so we can use that aldehyde with our Wittig reagent. And that is going to get us to here. Oops. Let's move down a little bit so that we can see what's going on here. Okay. So we have our double bond here. There we go. And this, of course, would be a mixture of E and Z isomers. Okay, but I've just drawn it as E, but that's fine. And now, in order to get to our final product, we just need to deprotect. And so H3O plus or H plus and H2O, same thing. Okay, and so now we have our ketone, and we have our double bond here. Okay, and the problem tells us that this final product is going to be an E and Z mixture. And so using this route that I've outlined here, this would be an E and Z mixture, but that's fine because that's what the problem calls for. Okay, and so this is another synthesis problem similar to an earlier one, just highlighting the fact that we can do similar things using a strategy of a Grignard reagent or using the strategy of a Wittig reagent. So it's just different ways to make new carbon-carbon bonds. So part A, we're going to do with the Grignard strategy. Part B, we're going to do with a Wittig strategy. And that is the answer to chapter 21, problem number 65.